So the video installation I'm showing in the exhibition is called the Disquiet. It was shot in Lebanon in 2013, and it deals with the seismic history in Lebanon. Lebanon sits on three active fault lines, so it was an indirect way to speak about the instability, the political instability, and the reoccurrence of all the violent and traumatic events in Lebanon and the region, but by talking about the natural catastrophe, the natural disaster, which is the tension building underground with the seismic plates. Trembling Landscapes is a series of lithographic prints which was done after the Disquiet, and it was looking at different cities in the region who also are sitting on fault lines. And this series was created at the time of the Arab uprising, which was called the Arab Spring, where different cities were going turmoil and sometimes violence and tension. But every time I was looking at the natural tension that is underneath the ground in these cities. So these are made from aerial views of these cities with indication of the invisible fault line that cross these cities. And these aerial views, of course, remind us of the aerial views that were done after World War II of cities that were destroyed. So we don't know if the city is already before or after the time of the catastrophe. So it becomes like a sort of a bird's eye view of a state of in-between, liminal state of the disaster, of the catastrophe. I try to draw this relation between the natural, geological, scientific facts of how we study a catastrophe in order to understand a different type of catastrophe that is, for me, hard to grasp or to quantify or make visible even. So I went to science because I thought science can give us answers. Science can give us ways of understanding. But of course, this can go to a certain extent, and always these tools of understanding fail to grasp exactly the moment of catastrophe, which remains off screen. We can always look at it as a before and after, but never representing the event itself. It was interesting that at the time when I was working on the Disquiet, that very few people in Lebanon know that we sit on three active fault lines. And geologists that I was talking to, they're all like tell me that how they try to do like awareness campaign, try to change policies in order, to preserve the architecture, the new buildings that are being constructed, all this. And it seems like a sort of a danger that no one want to look at. It seems like have been gone in the subconscious of everybody, and no one wants to face it. And I found this interesting. It's like this traumatized memory that becomes sort of erased, and how we can make it surface. And I like this metaphorically how this traumatic event is underground, as a way to talk, of course, about the history of the Civil War, our relation to our traumatic memory, and all these questions. So I try to make this back and forth between the natural and the political. Actually, it has become even more relevant after the explosion that happened in Beiroet on August 4th. It's all of a sudden the film that deals with this question of the disaster, of the destruction, becomes very a question of of today. Lots of people actually who visited the exhibition wrote me and told me how much it's eerie to watch today this film, how much it resonates. And I think, I mean, the title of the exhibition, Trembling Landscape, and using one of the images stills from the Disquiet, which is the Beiroet River turned blood red during the Syrian uprising, actually. It was a political act. So all this image and the title became like very haunting after the massive explosion of the Beiroet port and the destruction it left behind.